Should you downsize in your home? Or is staying put the smarter move? Today, we're tackling one of the biggest decisions homeowners face, downsizing. Whether you're an empty nester approaching retirement or just ready to simplify, here are 10 truths you absolutely need to know before making this move. Let's get right into it. Hi, I'm Dafna, your local real estate broker. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My mission is to guide you through a home selling and buying experience for a smooth transaction and a successful closing. So let's get into it. Truth number 1. Bigger isn't always better. Let's be honest, that large home might have been perfect years ago when your kids were running around and you needed every bedroom. But if it's now half empty and high maintenance, it might be time to rethink what home really means for your current lifestyle. According to recent trends in 2025, downsizing has become a movement across all age groups, not just retirees. The National Association of Home Builders report that new homes are actually getting smaller and there's an increased demand for townhomes and other compact footprints. Even people in their 40s and 50s are choosing smaller spaces for simplicity, sustainability, and financial flexibility. Here's what I see with my clients. The shift from how much space do we need to how much space do we actually use is powerful. Quality of life isn't about square footage. It's about designing your home around how you live every day. If you're rattling around in a 3,000 square foot house using maybe 4-room regularly, that's your first sign it's time to consider the pros and cons of downsizing. Truth number 2. The hidden cost of staying put. Even if your mortgage is small or paid off, large homes come with bigger utility bills, property taxes, and repair costs. Understanding the true cost of your current home. Let me break down the numbers for you. The average American spend approximately $3,000 plus per year on home maintenance and repairs, and that varies significantly based on your home size and age. As a rule of thumb, you should set aside at least 1% of your home value annually for maintenance. So if your home is worth $400,000, that's $4,000 per year just for upkeep. Utility bills tell another story. Move.org estimates that a typical US family spends almost $300 monthly on essential utilities like electric, gas, and water. Smaller homes require less energy for heating, cooling, and lighting, meaning real savings every single month. Property taxes and insurance also tie to your home size and value. Downsizing means a lower assessed value, which translates to smaller tax bills and reduced insurance premiums. For empty nesters considering downsizing, these savings can mean more freedom and financial breathing room to actually enjoy retirement. Truth number 3. Emotional attachments are real. Letting go of a long-time home can be hard. Memories, milestones, and meanings are tied to those walls. But remember, you're not leaving memories behind, you're making space for new ones. I won't sugarcoat this part. Downsizing tips for empty nesters always acknowledge the emotional challenge. That's the house where you raised your family, celebrated holidays, and watched your kids grow up. Saying goodbye to precious mementos, giving away adorable baby outfits, or leaving the home that watched your family grow isn't easy. Here's my advice. Allow yourself to grieve, but stay positive. Yes, you're saying goodbye to play dates and PTA meetings, but you're entering a phase that opens up new opportunities you never had before. Think about it as holding space for a new life rather than abandoning the old one. One technique that helps: practice gratitude. Thank your current home for supporting that life that allows you to raise your family. Know that your new home made this move possible, and welcome it with joy. New chapters can be stressful, but by realizing this move is an opportunity to explore new aspects of life, you'll see the good that comes from change. Truth number 4. Maintenance becomes a full-time job. Landscaping, cleaning, and upkeep can feel endless in a large house. A smaller home often means less maintenance, more time for hobbies, travel, or simply enjoying life. Let's talk about what maintenance really looks like. With fewer rooms and less square footage, there's simply fewer areas requiring a cleaning, repairs, and general upkeep. Routine tasks like painting, plumbing, and electrical work becomes less frequent and less costly when there's less space to manage. The cost of repairs also decreases. Fewer windows, doors, and less roofing mean there's less that can go wrong. Labor and material costs are typically lower because the scope of repairs is smaller. This leads to significant savings over time, reducing the financial stress associated with home repairs. And let's not forget landscaping. A smaller property often means a smaller yard, which translates into considerable savings. Mowing the lawn, trimming bushes, and maintaining flower beds all require time and money. By downsizing to a home with minimal landscaping needs, you cut these expenses dramatically. For those thinking about retirement and downsizing, this time savings is invaluable. Instead of spending weekends on yard work and home repairs, you're traveling, pursuing hobbies, or enjoying time with family. Truth number 5. Downsizing isn't always about age. It's not just for retirees. Many professionals are choosing smaller homes for simplicity, sustainability, and financial flexibilities. Here's what the data shows for 2025. Downsizing has exploded across the demographics. While baby boomers still make a large portion of downsizers as they move into retirement, young people, especially those with student loans and career flexibility, see downsizing as a chance to buy a home in a better location without high costs. The sharing economy has reduced demands for larger private spaces. Younger people used to ride-sharing, shared workspaces, and quick services are more willing to live in a smaller home that fits their mobile lifestyle. Sustainability also drives the trend. Living in a smaller space shrink your carbon footprint. Fewer rooms mean less energy usage and decreased usage and lower greenhouse gases. For environmentally conscious buyers of all ages, the benefits of downsizing, including making real impact on the planet. Think of it as right-sizing your life, choosing a space that truly fits your needs and lifestyle today, not the one you had 10 or 20 years ago. I love reframing this conversation with my clients. The word downsizing carries negative connotations, like you're settling for less or giving something up. But that's not what's happening at all. Right-sizing means you're being intentional about your space. It's about prioritizing experiences and financial security over square footage. If you feel stretched thin by your current living situation or simply want less stuff and more freedom, right-sizing is the answer. Sarah Sasanska, a well-known architect, wrote back in 1998 with a not-so-big house. Her premise was eliminating rooms that end up being empty and unused, designing a home made to be lived in every day. This trend has only accelerated, even leading to a tiny house movement where people build homes between 100 and 400 square feet. While extremely tiny homes aren't for everyone, there are real benefits of downsizing after 50. You're making conscious choices about what's important. You're simplifying by design, and you're focusing on quality over quantity. Truth number 7, location can trump square footage. Downsizing can open doors to new neighborhoods, walkable areas, or home closer to family and amenities, trading space for lifestyle perks. Downsizing can open doors to new neighborhoods, walkable areas, or home closer to family and amenities, trading space for lifestyle perks. Here's something I tell every client considering downsizing. Location become a new luxury. Maybe you couldn't afford that walkable downtown neighborhood in a 2,500 square foot house, but a 1,400 square foot condo or a townhouse, suddenly it's within reach. So is downsizing worth it financially? The answer often depends on what you gain beyond just money. Move to a community that's walkable or has good public transportation, and you might give up your car, along with maintenance, payment, insurance, and fuel costs. That's additional thousands saved annually. Proximity to family, healthcare, and amenities also factor in. Maybe you're moving closer to grandkids or downsizing into an active adult community with built-in social opportunities. Those lifestyle benefits can be priceless. Truth number 8. Selling first versus buying first. Know your strategy. The order you make your move matters. I'll share the pros and cons so you can transition smoothly without unnecessary stress or double payments. This is where having an experienced broker makes all the difference. Selling first gives you clarity on your budget and eliminates the stress of carrying two mortgages. You know exactly how much equity you're walking away with, and you can shop for your new home as a cash buyer in many cases. The downside? You might need temporary housing or storage between homes. But many of my clients find this a small inconvenience compared to the financial certainty it provides. Buying first works if you have financial flexibility to carry both property temporarily. You avoid the stress of moving twice, and you can take your time finding the perfect smaller home. But it's riskier. If your larger home sits on the market longer than expected, you're covering two sets of expenses. My advice for retirement downsizing guide planning starts the conversation with a trusted real estate broker at least 6 to 12 months before you want to move. Give yourself time to explore options, understand market conditions, and make strategic decisions rather than rushed ones. Truth number 9, the emotional surprise. You might love it. Many people here, they'll feel cramped or regretful, but often they end up feeling liberated. Less clutter, lower cost, and more manageable space can be life-changing. I've seen this transformation countless times. Clients who were anxious about downsizing call me 3 months later saying, "Why didn't we do it sooner?" The liberation they feel from less maintenance, lower cost, and simplifying living outweighed any concerns about space. Studies show that living in a cluttered home negatively impacts mental health and increase stress levels. That's why many households choose to downsize and reduce clutter before moving into new space. Living in a smaller space requires being more intentional about your possessions and what you buy. For downsizing mistakes to avoid, the biggest one is waiting too long. By planning ahead and downsizing 5 to 10 years before you retire, you can save thousands of dollars each year. If you move into a home that costs $100,000 less than your current one, you could easily save $3,250 annually in housing costs. Over 10 years, that's $32,500 in savings by the time you retire. Finally, truth number 10, plan ahead, don't rush it. Downsizing takes time, from decluttering, decades of belonging, to finding the right new space. Start planning early and give yourselves grace through the process. Here are practical downsizing tips to make the transition smoother. First, downsizing in your current home before you move. Don't wait until you get your new home to decide what you keep. Do it in advance so you let go of what no longer serves you and make space for what lies ahead. Second, visualize your new home. Think about your new space and how you want it to look and feel. This new space is a chance to start again, to consider what's important to you and why. Third, work through categories rather than going room to room. The KonMari method suggests tidying by category: clothing, books, paper, miscellaneous items, and sentimental item last. Gathering, discarding, and packing by category helps you spot duplicates and excess. Finally, don't put anything in storage. If you're tempted to storage item that won't fit in your new home, remember why you chose to downsize. Embrace that some belongings won't fit and support your new life. Be open to change. Thank you for watching. So, is downsizing worth it financially? The data says yes. You get reduced housing costs, lower utility bills, smaller property taxes, decreased insurance premium, less maintenance expenses, and a chance to free up equity for retirement, travel, or other goals. Drop me a comment below or reach out to me directly. All my contact info is in the description as well. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with new videos. This is Dafna, and I'll see you in the next one.